Aloha from Hawaii. Yes, and that's what you see at Hawaii, lots of pretty flowers. Yes, as I arrived, the first place I went to was the gym, where it tends to energize the body, clear the mind, and tends to wash that flight off you. And I was doing interval work and getting my heart rate up, and what's interesting is as you get fitter, as you know, your resting heart rate comes down. And why is that the case? Well, let's have a look at this from a physiological point of view. So the heart is the pump of the body. So the heart's made up of 4 chambers. You have left and right ventricles, they're your pumping chambers, they pump blood out, and your left and right atriums, they're receiving chambers, they receive blood back from the body. Now your right ventricle pumps blood, deoxygenated blood to the lungs so it can get reoxygenated and comes back to the heart, and then it gets pumped back out into the body from the left ventricle, which is your main pumping chamber. It's the biggest chamber. So your left ventricle pumps, every time it contracts, it pumps a certain volume of blood out, and in that blood is oxygen. That oxygen is taken down to the muscles, and there that oxygen is used, it was required so the body can produce energy by breaking down your fats and carbohydrates, and then that energy is used to perform work in the form of exercise, life activity in general. So as you get fitter, your left ventricle, your main pumping chamber, actually increases its capacity to pump blood out. It's called your stroke volume. Your stroke volume is the volume of blood that your left ventricle can pump out per contraction. So as you get fitter by training hard and doing interval and pushing your heart rate up, the body tries to become more efficient. So your stroke volume increases, means the heart can pump more blood, therefore more oxygen per contraction. So at rest, you only need a certain amount of oxygen, about 3.5 milliliters per kilogram of body weight per minute. So that's around about your resting, what we call MET. It's called your MET, means the energy to keep us alive at rest. And obviously you can double the METs if you double your activity. So as your left ventricle can pump more blood per contraction, it doesn't have to pump as much. So it doesn't have to pump more because it's pumping more blood. It doesn't have to pump more often because it's pumping more volume of blood. So your resting heart rate comes down, and it can still supply the required oxygen and blood to the working muscles at a whole lower heart rate because it's a bigger pump. And what that also means is, yes, you can actually get more oxygen and blood to the working muscles at the higher heart rates than you would if you were unfit with a little pump. So just say you go to your maximal heart rate, which is 220 minus age, that's your maximal heart rate. Someone who's fit at that peak level of number of heart contractions or pumps, or your maximal heart rate, you actually get more volume of blood to the working muscles, which means you can produce more energy, therefore you can perform more work, which means run faster or swim faster or go up an incline faster at the maximal heart rate. But also you get more blood at a lower heart rate. That means your heart rate will actually come down lower at rest and be able to pump more blood at a higher heart rate. It means you're fitter. Therefore, you tend to win the race. And that would be no cow poo.